if I count all of these sharps, I see 7 on the screen, but this one is a duplicate, the F sharp, and the F sharp up here, so we only count 6 of them. Now these make sense, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, because those are the black notes and they have to be called by a sharp or a flat name. And then B is no problem, C sharp, D sharp. We get here, we say, why not just call it F instead of E sharp? Well, here's why. If I called it F, I'd have to come up here. I'd have to make it a natural. Okay, so now I've got a D sharp, and then it skips. Instead of doing line, space, line, I've now got line, skip a space, go to a line, and go to a line. That is not the clean, lovely version of scales that we're used to, where we go space, line, space, line, space, line, space, line. So it's cleaner to read it this way. And if you also think about alphabetically, C sharp, D sharp, the letter that comes after D is E. But we can't play E here, it has to be E sharp in order to be the correct note. So if we didn't have an E here, we would just have F, G, A, B, C, D, and then this would be F, and no E. And then we would have 3 Fs in the scale if this was also an F here. Another reason is that, like with key signatures, 1 sharp, 2 sharps, 3 sharps, 4 sharps, 5 sharps, 6 sharps. This is 6 sharps. How do I write a key signature for the key of F sharp, and I want both F sharp and F natural? I'd have to put a natural here, and that would just be ugly, right? It wouldn't follow the pattern. One last thing about it is the white keys and black keys are sort of incidental that they're white or black on the piano. Like if you're listening to it, there's nothing special about a black key or a white key. The only reason that E sharp doesn't compute in your brain is like it just happens to be a white key. If you were playing clarinet or something, you know, or guitar, where it's not all visual like this. Keyboard instruments are the only ones that are visually laid out like this. You know, winds and reeds and strings, none of them are laid out visually like this. You have to know something about like the frets and everything. So for them, why would it matter to call it E sharp? It only doesn't compute for us on piano because we're looking at a white and black keyboard and we're saying that's so much easier to call F, because we tend to think of sharps and flats as these black notes, but the truth is only 5 out of 7 notes are sharps and flats, and the other 2 live in these white keys. So that's my spiel about why we call it an E sharp.